Can it be here? Finalgate.com. I got me a little project. I've got my ice maker here that has broken down, and I've taken it all apart. And what I'm doing is replacing the water pump, which I hope that's the problem, because basically everything was working and all of a sudden it just quit working, so it stopped running water down that piece, which is essentially what freezes the water and creates the ice. So I'm assuming it's my water pump. So I'm going to piece it back together. Let me work my way back over here. And I ordered a new pump. And this is the old pump. This is the new pump, and they're practically identical. But this one came with the old one had a rubber hose there. The other one didn't. I don't know if I'm going to take that off and put it on there or not, but I probably will. So what we've got is a Costway, model number EP21967. So let's get started. I've got to, first thing I've got to do is put this baby back in this area here. And if you'll notice, the little tracks at the bottom of that water reservoir here, and if you'll look at the bottom of this, it has tracks. So the pump actually goes back in just like that, and it'll go in, it'll slide in those grooves, and it'll slide right back up in and fit in just like that. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with that rubber hickey. I don't know if I'm going to put it on there or not. So let me get everything together and start getting that done. Okay, so I've got it in there, and you had to kind of stick it in there and kind of work it left and right, and then finally get it past that bar, that line, that little bar there that's sticking up. Once it gets past that, and then it'll go as far as it'll go. I mean, that's it. It locks in. So to get it out, you almost just have to wiggle it to get it out. So I got my hose on, ready to go back up. Now the thing about this thing is, let me just try to move the camera right here best I can. See, it's got to go back through that hole right there. Well, I don't think that is going to plug through that hole, and if it don't, which I don't think it will, because the old one didn't. You get turned back around here. If that's the case, then I've got to take this piece off to feed the wires through. Now one of these wires has actually got writing on it. Okay, so actually that connector will fit through that hole. So sweet. So what I'm going to do at this point, I've got a place there and a place over here and here and here, but I'm not sure if I've got another piece that goes in this top left. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to mount this back where it's supposed to go, and it'll kind of hold there for a little bit, but I'm not gonna trust it. Let me get my screws and stuff together. Okay, so actually what I did, I got my wife's mirror. And if you can see that screw. That's how I was able to find that hole. Now there's actually another hole that I've got to get right there. So I'll use the mirror to get that one in as well. So I got the two on top end. And so I'm coming along here. So let's get that last two in there on the drain. Okay. There's one screw. There's the next screw. Those things were hard to get to, at least for me. And then a screw right there. And then a screw right down in there. So I've got the water tray is mounted. Now I'm ready to pull my cords up. And actually that cord is going to fit through that hole. I think I indicated that. So I'm going to get those wires run through. Then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I've basically got everything put back together. With the help of my wife, she helped me. These little pieces right here, I was kind of holding them while she screwed them in. Her fingers are longer than mine and better. Mine's like all thumbs. Getting them little screws in there was a pain for me. But anyway, I got everything there. I've got my cable running back here. I plugged it in here. Let me put my flashlight on that. And it went to the left. And there wasn't one way it could go on to get in that clip. So I'm going to get some ties, tie that to that, secure that. And I'm going to put this back on the back. And then start mounting the top back on it. Then since I've had it laid over, I'm going to have to wait. I'm going to have to wait a long time before I turn it on because the Freon's got to settle back down. So let's get this back on and go from there. All right, I had to take that screw out right there, that screw out there, so I could lower this. So now I can put the top on. And I've got the back on, and I'll go over that when I get the top on. So let's get the top mounted. Actually, it wasn't the top. It was actually the door. So let me get that on. I'm trying to I'm reversing. Whoop. All right. Come on, baby. It fits back up there. But it's supposed to catch on there somehow. There we go. There we go. So it slides up under this front door. Now, we're going to go and secure those two nuts, or those two screws. I'm going to secure these two screws right here, and then we'll go from there. Okay, now I'm going to stand her back up. Now I got to put a screw there, a screw there, and a screw there, and one there. Hopefully I got 4 screws left. There they are, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I got to put my top on. Supposed to be 2 screws for it. Well, I got to go get me 2 screws. I got them. I can find them. Actually, I didn't lose a screw. Actually, you got to take the screw out of the top of these. And then when I put this baby on, as I'm holding the camera, now I can screw these up. And then I'll get her turned around, get my water line hooked up, get my drainage hooked up, and we'll go from there. All right, I got my water line hooked up. You see that little blue clip? You just push it in and you put that blue clip in. And the way that I got that out is you pop that blue pin in, and then you actually push in. There's where that blue pin is going, you push that in and that hose will come right out. So now let me go down. I guess I should have cleaned it up some while I had it out. All right, let me go hook up my drainage, and let me see if I can clean some of that up. All right, I got my drain hooked up. Everything's good. Everything's ready to go. Straighten it up a little bit, but I gotta let it set a while. Let that the Freon needs to set. And before I plug it up and power it up. And hopefully sometime tomorrow I will fire it up, and we'll see if that was the problem after all. Okay, this is the next day, and thank God it was the water pump. So we're manufacturing ice now. Now I did let that thing set for at least 4 hours. That's what the manual indicated after I was fooling with it. I had it laid over on its side and all that good stuff. So you have to give that Freon time to settle back down. So that's one of the things that you'll be sure to remember to do. So we're manufacturing ice. I'm glad I got that thing put back together. Well, listen, thanks for watching.